Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show as we cover Slamdance Films. The next one, I am so thrilled to be talking to Dana Nachman, Don Hardy, directors of Pick of the Litter. I also have Janet Gearhart and her guide dog, Poppet, with me today. Tell me about that process. Well, first of all, why this story?
Don and I used to work at NBC, and we did a bunch of stories on guide dogs for the blind, and we just thought it was the most interesting thing. We have dogs at home that are not very well behaved at all, and these dogs are they're amazing. They're more reliable than people,
right?
And we're like, what does it take to do that? And so we followed this litter for 2+ years to see what it took, and they all didn't make it,
right?
No.
Well, you know, that's expected.
Yes.
It is the pick of the litter, right? The cream of the crop.
Yes.
Who gets to become guide dogs.
Yes, it's very hard.
How did you find the litter?
Guide Dogs for the Blind picked the litter, and we were obviously all their dogs are amazing, but they wanted the very best litter for us because we were going to commit to this for 2 years, and they chose a great mom and dad, and we just hoped that it would work out and at least one would make it, because that would be a very sad ending if none of them made it. Yeah.
How many did make it?
Should we say?
One did.
Is it
one did. We know this one did.
We know this one did. No more spoilers. No more spoilers.
No more spoilers. No, of course not. All right, tell me about the 2-year filming process.
Yeah, it started when Poppet was born. Poppet and her litter mates were born, and we just followed them through all of it. And the way it goes with guide dogs for the blind is they're at campus there for a while, and then at 2 months old they go out to puppy raisers who are volunteers, and they take the dogs into their homes for the first 14 months of their lives, and then they go back for the formal training back at the campus with the professionals, and hopefully they make it all the way through and end up with somebody like Janet here. So
Janet, I want to talk to you for a minute. Have you had a guide dog before Poppet?
I have been blessed with 4 guide dogs. Poppet is my fourth guide dog. I had 2 males and then 2 females.
What are the difference between the genders, do you think?
The females are a little more feisty, kind of like humans.
I've always heard that. Well, tell me, you know, the difference of having Poppet in your life now than before.
Well, you know, losing your eyesight can be very difficult, and it's something that affects your confidence. And I find that having a guide dog, I feel much more confident. And what a guide dog has done for me and for a lot of other people besides me is a cane will, you know, you'll be going along with this and you'll hit an obstacle, but you have to try to figure out what it is. A guide dog just simply takes you past the obstacle. I might not even be aware there was an obstacle.
Right.
So she keeps me safe. If there's a curb, she'll stop to signal where there's something in front of us, Mom. So then I have to figure out what it is, and then she'll take me down, and I give her commands and take me back up on the curb and go to wherever we're going. I have to have a mental map of knowing where we're going. Guide dogs do not know where they're going. The handler has to know where they're going.
Would you say the training paid off for Poppet?
Oh, Poppet is just, she's joyful. She loves me. I don't know if I ever can live up to how she feels about me.
Well, Dana and Don, I mean, it's a little different writing a news story for NBC than following a litter for 2 full years. What kind of things did you learn in that process?
Well, so much. I mean, the coolest thing I think about these dogs is that they learn what they call intelligent disobedience, and that means that if they're told, like Janet was saying, to go forward in a dangerous situation, they will decide not to do it. So like if you're going to tell your dog to go forward into a train platform or into a car or something like that, they will make a decision. And that's what separates these guide dogs from other service dogs, is they can actually make a decision when the time comes. And we talked to one man who 3 years after the dog had been trained, stopped him from falling down a huge stairwell.
Even though he was telling the dog
he
to
said, go forward, forward, why aren't you going forward? And then later he found out that he probably would have been killed if he had gone.
Oh my gosh.
So it's amazing that these dogs can make a decision like that. You know, they obey 100% of the time just until the moment they don't. And I think that's the coolest thing we learned.
You have to have a lot of intelligence for that too.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
All right, so the very last thing, the basics. The film premieres tonight. What time?
Tonight, 7 o'clock at the Treasure Mountain Inn, and we are doing a puppy parade at 5:30 from the base of Main Street, walking up to the Treasure Mountain, starting at 5:30. All dogs and people are welcome.
Love that.
And we're going to have at least 20 guide dogs and guide dogs in training.
I love this. Well, guys, congratulations so much for, first of all, getting into Slamdance and then being chosen to be the first film to premiere tonight. We're so excited.
Thanks. It's an honor.
Dana, Dawn, Jana, thank you so much. And Poppet,
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for coming on the show today. We do have a lot more coming up right after this break.